said, were chosen at a council by power-hungry male bishops who suppressed the manuscripts that threatened their status. These same books were then copied by scribes eager to edit out the parts they didn't like, so now we are left with bad translations. The distinct impression is that our Bible is the product of chance, a mere accident of history, something whose current form no one could have predicted. The implication is that it can't be God's Word. The story often appeals to a secularizing culture that is deeply suspicious of claims to authority and more inclined than ever to reject some of the Bible's unfashionable morality. But is it true? Christians sometimes overreact to this first story by downplaying the human element and attributing everything about the Bible to God's immediate work. The Bible's history can seem like a two-act play in which God inspires the original authors, who then hand their works over to English translators. When the curtain rises, we have a leather-bound Bible complete with chapter headings and cross-references. In this story, the line from God to us is very straight and very short. But is this true? Between these two stories lies a wide spectrum of ideas about the process of how we got the Bible. We have regularly been asked about whether Hebrew scribes destroyed their copies if they made a single mistake, whether the canon was decided at the Council of Nicaea, or whether apocryphal Gospels were suppressed by church leaders. These are the common questions in the popular imagination, ones we answer in what follows. Why this audiobook? We chose to create this audiobook because we see numerous benefits of knowing the history of the Bible. Antidote. Sincere questions, like those just mentioned, are the first reason we have created this audiobook. We want to offer a corrective to some common misconceptions. Few people have the luxury to study the history of the Bible at the depth scholars do. We hope this audiobook is a service to those who want to know more. We also hope it serves as an inoculation against unhealthy skepticism. Those who love the Bible a great deal sometimes know next to nothing about how we got it. When they encounter problem areas, especially from skeptical sources, the effects can be jarring. This is especially true for young people raised in the church. Once they enter college, they discover that the secular academy has long treated the Bible like any other ancient book, human from beginning to end. Upon discovering the human history of the Bible, Christians can feel betrayed if they've never heard that the Bible has a history. A book that once seemed in a category by itself now looks all too human. Can they still trust it? The wonderful thing about the Bible's history is that so much of it is concrete. We are dealing with a book, after all. The facts are often what they are. Sometimes they do raise questions, and our goal is not to minimize those. In this history, there is much to agree on by all parties. But the question is how to interpret the evidence. To take one example, not all of the Dead Sea Scrolls align closely with the medieval Hebrew manuscripts on which our modern English Bibles are based. How do we interpret that? Should we take these unaligned texts as the rule or as the exception? In the case of the canon, do debates about certain books in the early church give us less confidence in the result or more? We are convinced that a fair interpretation of the evidence does not challenge the authority of the Bible. In many cases, it supports it. The difference is often not the evidence itself so much as how we explain it. Our goal is to offer a Protestant explanation that is honest with the evidence and shows why we think the Bible's history supports its authority. Such an explanation can instill a greater appreciation and confidence in the Bible. Inspiration. Beyond its apologetic value, the story of the Bible is a fascinating one. It's full of twists and turns, heroes and villains, hard work, and innovation. All of this history provides much inspiration. A Christian can hardly read about origins,